cousin reunion, our mini cousin Halldin reunion. And as you know, every time we all get together, because I'm the youngest and I don't know half of what you guys know about the family, I'm always picking your brains.
Probably just as well.
Yes, what is your full name, and why were you named that? Who are you named after, if you know, that sort of thing. Okay, Dick, we're going to start with you. What is your full formal name?
Albert Richard Jones. The Albert came from my dad's brother, who was Al Jones. And Richard, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
because
interesting.
I like the name Dick. I don't know.
Now, they used to call you Al as you were growing up, right?
I've been called Al, Dick, Richard, Biff. In high school, I was called Biff. Biffer.
Yeah. How about that?
And
was very effective.
the coach of the Army football team was named Biff Jones. And I played team football at LA High School, and I got to somebody crossed out Al and Biff.
May, Lillian, Halldin, and now I'm Clark.
Yes.
And I was named after my grandmother, May
Right.
Halldin, and they wanted to keep the same initial. And Lillian Halldin from back east was Dad's favorite cousin, so I was named after her also.
Aw.
She's very pretty.
We have Welling. Welling, who are you married to?
May Lillian Clark,
How many years have you been married?
51 years and 15 days.
Wow.
Oh, That's Leonard Halldin.
And you were named for?
Well, my father named me after him.
Yeah.
Leonard, I have no idea at all.
That was
Mom's father.
father's name. I'm Luann Scarrett Halldin, married to Dexter, 45 years.
Whoa.
Wonderful years.
Wonderful.
Oh my.
Barbara Louise Halldin.
Yeah.
And I don't know where Barbara came from, but Louise was my mother's middle name.
Right. She tells me that the Barbara came from her dad's side.
Oh, really?
Harold Arthur Halldin.
Okay.
And I don't know how either one of those names were selected.
Really?
But people call me Hal.
Yes.
Sometimes horrible Hal. Sometimes happy Hal.
Handsome Hal.
And sometimes just a hell of a guy.
Miss Virginia Anderson,
Virginia Anderson. And how many years you guys been married?
52.
Wow. Fantastic. I am Judy Lynn Halldin. And Judy, I'm told, comes from a Job's daughter buddy of my sister's. The Lynn, I have no idea where that comes from. And Michael and I have been married for almost 9 years now. Yeah, it'll be 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the record for
That's a record for me.
Good.
Well, you got the right one.
I got the right one. Did you have a nickname, any kind of funny little nickname that people...
One the family gave you.
A family
Yeah,
that camp?
Dickie Jones.
Oh. Dick has stuttering.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
stuttered
You stuttered when you were young.
real good. I was a real good stutterer.
Now it's just me.
That runs
I was
right,
a king.
you did.
I was a king.
in
Dickens.
Dickens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you were a little Dickens?
Uh-huh.
All right. Now, Dexter.
Yeah.
When you were in school, did you participate in extracurricular sports activities?
Called girl.
No, I worked ever since I was 12 years old.
Did you?
How about chasing girls, didn't you?
That was during school.
That's why I worked.
Thing I can remember is every Saturday he would walk from Magnolia to Broadway and pick up a ham.
Right?
I remember him walking.
Walking back with a ham.
That's what he did.
A raw ham, non-smoked or whatever they regular. And Mommy would cook it for Saturday night with beans and ham.
Beans and ham on Saturday night.
Every Saturday
Boston
night.
baked beans every Saturday night.
Every Saturday night.
And she always made like a 4-course dinner
Whoa.
every night.
Whoa.
She would serve dinner 6 nights a week and breakfast 6 mornings. People, her boarders.
At the boarding house.
That's right. And Sunday, it would be her day off. I can remember Toddy and myself going around vacuuming and dusting. And one of my jobs was on Saturday to go around to all the bathrooms and pick up the soap bars that were left, half used and bring them down to the washer down in the service porch. And it would chop them up and use it to wash the sheets and so forth.
That's being frugal.
Well, we all had good chores.
What were some of yours, Lil?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, it was every day of the week I had to go, and that's how I got to see so much of the 3rd floor. Because I got to go up and bring down the waste paper baskets. That's every day. And boy, did Uncle Toddy get after me if I forgot one. And then on 2 days a week, I would have to take the top sheet of the beds, put it down, and put a fresh new top sheet on, and change the pillowcases twice a week. I had help setting the table, but I served, I helped put the fruit cocktail or fruit juice on the table. I served the soup. I can't remember if the salad was already on the table or what, but anyhow, and then the dinner, and then I was through, and then I could go over to the little table where just 6 of us kids sat at, because everybody else sat at this great big table. And I was through.
Wow.
So that's what I got to do. But I got to go to the 3rd floor then. Otherwise, only boys were allowed to go to the 3rd floor. There was a pool table up there. And the guys
right.
played around. Girls were allowed on the 3rd floor.
What about you, Hal? Did you have chores at that house?
I don't remember doing anything. That's good. I remember working on the apartments, building the apartments, but
Yeah.
He got to hang out and help my dad, no matter whether it was, even if it was nothing.
He was
I remember.
working with Dad. Working with Dad. Yeah, Barb and Dexter, yeah.
In the boarding house, all I remember is I used to ring the bell once in a while.
Every night.
The dinner bell? Was everybody
Yes,
come to dinner?
every night for dinner.
And I used to dance. I remember I used to dance, tap dance, in the front room.
Now, Dexter, you tell a really good little story about something Grandpa said to you when you used to mow the lawn.
And Grandpa, I was like 5 years old maybe. He had a big bird, He told me, I was like, he was old man, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He told me, one day I looked at I got to my eyes now. Always be nice people, and mean people. Basically.
Yeah. He said, always be nice to nice people
Mean to
and
mean
mean
people.
to mean people. And
That's
you've
what
done
I
that
like.
your whole life, haven't you?
Yep. Yeah, I have.
That's true. That's true. I hear he used to do some funny little things. He was kind of a...
No, yeah, nails. He straightened them out.
He'd straighten them out
Yeah, use nails for
Uh-huh.
always.
Take a hammer.
so you can use them again.
Yeah, put them in my pocket.
All I remember Grandpa doing was bounce his cane.
Pounding his cane.
Yeah, hey, that's right.
Oh, and I can remember every time Grandpa got in trouble with Grandma, we'd go out and sit on the back porch steps. He'd tell me all about
That's
it.
when he's supposed to be. Only
And he was never did anything wrong. It's just she didn't like him doing the things he did.
Dexter, your father, had a crystal set up on the 3rd floor, and that was before Mommy got the radio that the big boat sits on. That
Yeah.
was before radio day. Well, radio was out, but I guess they were expensive anyway. We didn't. But your dad had a crystal set, and we used to go up and listen to up on the 3rd floor. Yeah, and before the apartments were built, in the back there, well, Paul would have chickens and turkeys back there. And the guy that was one of the boarders, you know these plastic things that had holes in them and before garbage disposal and you put them in a sink?
Oh, there's garbage.
That guy was living when he invented that and got it
Patent?
patented and so forth. Actually, he moved out of the boarding house.
Wow.
But he made it and invented
He
it.
invented that.
Magnolia.
But in
Our
the,
Magnolia is one hall of fame.
well, didn't Magnolia, the boarding house, didn't it have a lot of up and coming actors and painters
yes,
and all
yes.
that stuff?
Yeah.
I don't.
We had one in there that tried to commit suicide.
Oh, great.
When Willie and I lived in it after we were married.
That's a bad accident.
Uncle Toddy brought him home.
Oh.
Well, I remember Grandpa's tool shed.
Oh, yeah.
There was a hole in the wall. There's a hole in the wall.
Well, no, it was a shed in his sliding door, and he locked it and wanted all the tools returned.
He had a little tool shed.
Yeah.
A little shed, and he used to keep the feed there for the chickens.
Also, I still have, he helped me build a shoe shine kit. And I still have that.
I
No,
remember that.
I
Now,
still-
did he make my dad a shoe shine kit?
he probably,
We have my
Everybody.
dad's, and it was old,
Yeah.
and he gave it to Joe.
yeah, well, I still have it and still use it.
Well, Joe uses
A
it.
couple of my daughters stake claim on it.
I need to ask a question.
Yes.
Things are coming back into this little break. Wasn't there
A cellar.
Base-
A cellar, a
Yes,
cellar.
the
Cellar.
dungeon. The
Yes,
dungeon.
I remember
Yes.
going down there, and they didn't want me to go down, and I used to go anyway.
And they had one of
We
these
had to-
old-fashioned doors
Yeah.
that would
That
open
was
up.
on the south side of the house, yeah.
Of course, you know, I was a scaredy cat all the time. I wouldn't even have myself a picture on a pony. But that was.
You don't have
that
a
was
pony picture?
No, they come around to take pictures of everybody.
Yeah.
And all the kids had pictures of ponies.
Exactly.
I got one of me standing holding the ring, crying.
Oh, but you wouldn't go?
I was always a scaredy cat. I was even scared to go up on that third floor most of the time. But Judy, so were you, so I don't feel bad about that.
Wow. When I was tiny, I climbed up the stairs, but when it got to the third floor, I was like, I don't think so. It
We
was
lived on the third
too
floor.
spooky.
Yeah.
Too spooky.
You guys seem to remember a lot more than I do.
About the sleeping porch now.
About the porch?
Yeah.
Sleeping porch? We just slept there.
All the time? They just threw you out there?
Well, yeah, I think a
yeah.
couple of guys and Dick and I slept out there.
On the second floor?
Yeah. You know, I worked for my dad and Carl Nordberg, laying hardwood floors and finishing hardwood floors.
Wow.
And then I didn't like their drinking, so I didn't work for them. I went to work for the SP Railroad, and I worked in Indio during the summer. That was between my junior and senior year in high school.
Wow.
And my claim to fame there was dumping 2 yards of concrete on the superintendent.
On purpose?
No, that was an accident. But anyway,
Nice.
he liked me,
He
and
died.
he told me to come back after I graduated from high school and work for the railroad in the office.
In the office. Let's not be pouring any more concrete. Dick, how about you? What was your first job?
Oh, I know that I sold there on Pico and Los Angeles. I sold Sunday papers there, I remember that.
Sold Christmas trees, didn't we?
Yeah, sold Christmas trees. I don't know what the heck the Christmas was. Probably passing bills or something. You know, there was always something to do. Always made money, I'll tell you that. Always made
There
at
was
least
always-
25 cents a day.
You know.
Lillian, how about you? What was your very first job?
Oh, I worked in a sweatshop. I worked at Blue Man Studios on sewing, single needle sewing. I lied about my age. I said I was 16. I was 15. And I kept telling him, well, the school isn't open when I get home, so I can't get it. So the day I turned 16, I got into the office and got my work permit. So I was kind of illegal.
Well, gotta do. Hey, Dexter, how about you? What was your very first job?
That's right. Yeah. Septic tank, 10 by 10 by 10.
You dug a septic tank?
Weaver Street. Weaver Street in Hawaii. 10 by 10 by 10.
Barbara, how about you?
I remember I worked in a envelope place, stationery for the boys in the service.
Oh, really?
I think it was during, it must have been Korea. We used to put notes in the letter. In
Notes
the
to the
envelopes.
boys?
Yeah.
How cute.
That was
Okay.
before I went to work with the good old phone company.
And then you retired.
And what did Judy do?
My first
Nothing.
job was in the garment district, like with Lillian. Yes, it was working
Not
for...
sewing.
Not sewing. I was the girl who stood in the factory and put the plastic bags over the clothes before they went out to the stores. It was the most
You're the
boring
bag
job.
lady.
I was a bag lady.
Oh.
All day long with the plastic bags. Oh,
I
got
don't
it.
even remember that.
It was boring. Oh, I had a car already. I was 16. I was Does anybody remember anybody in the family having a profound impact on them and the way they lived? Hal, how about you? Anybody in the family have a profound effect on the way you ended up living your life?
Oh, just thinking, of course, my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
I think my mother really encouraged me to go to college. And my dad told me when we were in Sierra Madre, they were putting in the aqueduct from the Colorado River.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad told me that if I would study and be an engineer, go to college, that I would always have a job as a draftsman or a surveyor.
Oh,
And
Good advice.
boy, that was a good piece of advice.
sure was, and that's what you ended up doing, being a civil engineer, right?
Yeah, he's the one that guided me in doing that.
Isn't
Well,
that
didn't he do that down in South America?
No, in South America, he
He's a
was a
banker.
bookkeeper and worked with the horses and the beef.
Yeah, that's where he became a cowboy,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
He was a cowboy down there.
Hey Lillian, how about you? Was there someone in the family that had an effect on how you...
Everybody just told me to grow up and be a lady. I'm not sure how I turned out.
I think you did pretty good.
Yeah.
How about you, Dexter? Anyone in the family in particular have a big effect on how you decided to live your life?
Uncle Ray.
Uncle Ray? Son of a gun.
Ready.
What did he say to you?
Integrity. Have integrity. Have integrity. He was a good worker.
That's what I hear. How about later? How about you, Barbie?
Oh, I don't know if I can get through this. I think it was mostly the women. It was Aunt Gladys and Vivian and Grandma. And Vivian taught me how to sew. Grandma taught me how to cook. And Aunt Gladys told me, you always got to work. Right? I mean, that's the way she was. She was always working.
That's
So
right.
you better
Always
work.
working.
Yeah, she told me how chickens, if they would kill them, I said, if you would kill them, I'd pluck them.
We had strong women in the family.
Yeah.
Strong,
Well,
women.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
And Vivian had this little dress shop, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And she used to let me, I used to take the trolley, was it like a trolley? Go to Grandma's, and then I got to Aunt Vivian's, and I don't remember how, but most of her clothes that she sewed was by hand. And I used to do the buttons. She showed me how to do them. And I was just 11, 12 years old, 13.
Oh.
My job there was picking up needles and going up to Marion Davies. She did Marion Davies' clothes.
And Catherine Grayson's clothes.
Yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
but
So it's a star.
hers, they had two homes together, with one door in between
Uh-huh.
two homes, and
Oh, William Randolph Hearst and Marion Davies?
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
separate homes, but they had a door?
Yeah, they were back on the same property and everything, but they, you'd have to be a woman there to hold Marion Davies up so she could be 50. She was drunk. She was
Yeah.
out.
Really?
Yeah, just stone.
Yeah.
And they'd have to hold her up.
Oh, dear.
And
Man, old time.
I used to drive her up there and sit while she measured Marion Davies. And then she would get clothes from New York and have Vivian copy them and send the clothes back.
Oh.
I mean, this is somebody with millions, right?
Yeah.
Millions,
Yeah.
millions. But
That's why she got the millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those,
She did.
it was
She got
Aunt,
it on
Aunt
her back.
Vivian, Grandma, and Aunt Gladys were constant workers, constantly, always doing something.
You know, speaking of Aunt Viv and sewing, when I was in high school, my senior year, she sewed with this other lady too, who had a shop on Miracle Mile on Wilshire Boulevard.
Yeah.
When she was cutting back, so
Oh.
she had this lady. She took me over there, and this lady, they decided that I could do her sewing. So I would take home these dresses and sew them at home and bring them back the next Saturday, and she would fit them, and I would take them back and finish them, bring them back. And I got $7.50, and I found out later she sold them for $95 to $200.
Oh!
Yeah.
Now, see,